What's going on, Jerome's? Take a look at the NFC North standings update after Week 9 action, heading into Week 10. And who knew? Who knew that the Lions would be the true winners of this week, as everyone in the division took an L except for the Lions. Can't lose if you don't play. That's right. But it's rough, man. It's rough because the Vikings just giving it away in Baltimore in just typical Vikings fashion. Again, 17-3, 24-10. You just can't take advantage of all these opportunities that have been handed your way. And you could have made a lot of headway getting to 4-4, wanting some more, getting back to 500, and having a chance in the Derby for the wild card, for the division, etc. But, of course, and the Vikings playing so bad at noon didn't even allow me to watch Jordan Love be absolute garbage against the Chiefs. I mean, just come on, man. Like, if the anyways, not that I'm frustrated, but we're gonna go through the games, look at future upcoming matchups, etc. So the Packers allegedly still at 7-2 atop of the division. A loss 13-7 in Kansas City in probably one of the most boring games I've seen in a hot second. Which you would think that, hey, Packers Chiefs, hey, Patrick Mahomes, you see the future of Jordan Love as well. Just not so great. And also, the Chiefs are bad, man. I mean, the Packers team is decimated by injuries. They don't have Zadarius. He's been out since week 1. And then also, A-Aron Rodgers was out on the Rona list this week. So, man, I mean, if you're going to get at the Chiefs, this is the year to do it. And the AFC West is wide open. I think all the AFC West teams are also above 500, so that's kind of crazy. But the Packers, I mean, they're fallible. They are. Like, even with Rodgers in there, we've talked about how they've just tiptoed through the tulips like a bunch of a-holes and always getting the worst performance from whatever team they're playing. And they were handed the Thursday night win 2 weeks ago by Arizona because A.J. Green said deuces in the middle of a play. So I'm looking forward to Week 11, man. Because the Vikings-Packers derbies, like, even in a down year, which this could be a down year for the Vikings, just beating the Packers' ass just makes you feel good. So you have a chance Week 11, and also you have one later in the season, Sunday Night Football at Lambeau, which is going to be fun. Hopefully it's going to snow, which is always a great aesthetic for night games. So it's whatever there. But Packers losing at KC, for that we thank you. And then the Vikings dropping one at Baltimore. Just not frustrated at all. Don't worry about it. Just all these close games, all of the talent, all of the offense going punt, 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 punt. The defense giving up 500 yards because the offense can't stay on the field, blah, 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 blah. Then the Bears. The Bears, where you feel for Bears fans on one hand, but on the other hand, F them. F them straight in the face, where you lose in Pittsburgh 29-27. Thank you for hitting it over, and thank you for covering, by the way. And some atrocious officiating, some really, really bad officiating, where the Cassius Marsh taunting penalty, I mean, that's just, like, taunting penalties this year have been an issue as they've been trying to implement it. I get it. They're trying to tamp down on all the ish talking since, parabola microphones are being more prevalent. More players are mic'd up. And, of course, the NFL is squeaky clean league. Players don't talk junk to each other on the field and use bad language, but sure. So that one continued on, just the corpse of Pittsburgh drive. Najee Harris averaging like 2 yards a carry because the Steelers' offensive line is booty. It just sucks. Like, if you're a Bears fan, like, that has got to be frustrating. Where Justin Fields, respect. I mean, that was a dime to Darnell Mooney on that tutty, and also Allen Robinson, the holdout corpse of Allen Robinson, who's just wasted his career with bad quarterbacks. He had like 68 yards receiving, which I think is a season high. I mean, Matt Nagy is the supposed offensive genius, but whatever. But left too much time for the Steelers, and then they march down. Boswell hits a field goal, blah, blah, blah. But then they get in range for a 65-yard field goal by Cairo Santos, Eddie Pinero. It doesn't matter. The Bears kicker, double doink. No, this was single doink off the crossbar, because when he hit it, when he struck it, it looked good, man. It looked dead center. I thought it had enough leg, and I mean, I don't understand why the Steelers didn't have on much of a rush. I mean, just get your hands up. So he has to sail it up high. So the trajectory of the kick isn't flat where it has to be on 55-yard plus kicks. But also, the Bears shouldn't have even been in that range because the play before where Fields threw it and picked up a couple extra yards for the field goal, there was a false start. Oh, no. It was batted down by TJ Watt at the line, so it was still a 65-yard field goal. Both tackles false started, so maybe it was a bit of a makeup call because otherwise they would have been trying a 70-yard field goal or a half-assed Hail Mary, but I don't know. I mean, on one hand, you want games to be called fairly and you don't want one team to be screwed, but on the other hand, typical Bears. Anyway, and then the Lions coming out smelling like a rose because they didn't lose this week, which is great. But like I said, I will take the future of the Lions over the future of the Bears. Even though Justin Fields, I believe in him a lot, I don't think that they will surround him with weapons. I don't think that they will get a decent offensive line in front of him. And the Lions, they have all that extra draft capital from the Stafford trade. They're going to clear up a lot of cap after they get rid of Jared Goff. And I like Holmes. I like Campbell. This team plays hard. They just don't have the talent at present time, but they could get it. They could be the team in a couple of years, but probably not. Because it's Detroit. Looking ahead, Week 10 matchups. The Packers get Seattle at home, but Russ is going to be back. He's got that pin out of his thumb. He's going to be good to go. And, well, the Seahawks, without Russ, they're very bad. There's a straight-up bad team. So it's going to be a battle of bad teams led by, well, Russ is good. Allegedly, A-Aron Rodgers is good. But Rodgers, if he gets off of the COVID list on Saturday, the 12-year-old boy says that he's going to play on Sunday. But that is if he comes off the list, if he tests negative. So we'll see. Maybe it'll be Jordan Love 2.0 or Aaron Rodgers on like zero practice. So I guess we'll see there. And then the Vikings out at the Chargers. Linval Joseph revenge game. Hopefully, even when Bradbury comes off the COVID list, Mason Cole should still start. Absolutely, he should. But it's the battle of the 2020 great rookie Justins, where the fraudulent, the stolen 2020 Pepsi Offensive Rookie of the Year, Justin Herbert, allegedly out there. But the Chargers do seem fallible, man. Like they put up some stinkers. They got a nice win on the road on the East Coast against Philly, but it's Philly. It's Philly, man. But the Chargers defense can get shredded at times. Their offensive line can be fallible besides Bertrand Slater. So I'm looking forward to this game. I think the Vikings do have a sporting chance in this one. There's a reason why the Vikings are only open as 2.5-point dogs. And remember, 3 points for home field advantage. So at a neutral venue, the Vikings, Vegas is saying that the Vikings are slightly better than the Chargers, or at least that's how they see even money distributed. But we'll see. Bears are on their bye. It's a good time for it. And then the Lions are at Pittsburgh, where Steelers aren't looking great, man. Like, I'm looking forward to that Thursday night game where I think that the Vikings can actually get it done at home against Pittsburgh, where we'll see. And then Week 11, the showdown, the derby. Packers at Vikings, bring that ish on. The Bears get the Ravens at home. The Lions are at Cleveland. And then Week 12, did you know it's already Thanksgiving Week 12? It's kind of crazy. Like, that thing just sneaks up on you. Like, it's Halloween, and then all of a sudden it's Christmas. And then it's Thanksgiving. And then it's Daylight Savings Time, which we could do a full video on Daylight Savings Time and how it's just phooey, but whatever. But Bears at Lions, a tradition unlike any other. I don't know who I'm rooting for. How about they just tie? Actually, no. I'm hoping that the Lions pull that one out because screw the Bears, and also no team deserves to go winless. Unlike the 2008 Lions as well as the Browns that one year, but that's whatever. And then the Vikings at Niners. Speaking of teams that look excessively fallible, where you look at this schedule to start the season at LA, where the Vikings, of course, they get the short end of the stick, where they have 9 road games and 8 home games this year. Yes, it will come back around next year, but don't care. And then you got the Packers Week 11, then you're at the Niners. All 3 of these games are eminently winnable. They are. And somehow, some way, if the Vikings can reel off 3 straight wins, get to 6-5, all of a sudden they're looking pretty interesting. Where Seattle is in the playoff wildcard mix. Same thing with the Panthers, same thing with the Falcons. But the Vikings have a win head-to-head against the Panthers and the Seahawks, so that could be important coming up. So whatever. And then the Packers host the Rams, where Yeah, I think the Rams got exposed just a little bit, where they're a team where they are definitely great front runners, and they're definitely great for the highlights and high wire act. But when it comes down to the meat and potatoes of winning high pressure games, high leverage games in a big time situation, it looks a little rough. Like, if you could find a market and wager which high seed team is going to be one and done in the playoffs, I would wager on the Rams, even though they're probably going to get a home game out of it. Well, if they win the division. If they're a wild card, they'll be on the roads. That's whatever. But, yeah, that's it. Let's take a look at the NFC North. I almost said NFC Central. Like, how big of a throwback is that? Bring back the Bucks. Actually, no, screw the Bucks. What are your thoughts on our thoughts? Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. You want to support that work? Pay that man his money. But until next time, Skol, production value.